My name is Jessica Hanks. I serve as Associate Dean for Academic Affairs here at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. It is my humble honor to serve as a Grand Marshal today. To our students, their friends, and family, to our faculty and staff and university representatives, I welcome you to the University of Illinois College of Medicine Convocation ceremony for the class of 2023. Events like this takes lots of work and planning. We appreciate everyone's help to make this a special event for our graduates. Specifically, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Eileen Doherty, Ms. Jamie Belcher, and Ms. Sandy Araguen for their creativity, planning, and coordination of this amazing event. We also have had many academic and student affairs and UECOM staff here to help ensure convocation runs smoothly today. We celebrate this day with you. It is a tradition that the graduating class select underclassmen students to assist in the ceremony. We recognize Dina Nashid, Justin Porter, Harveen Kaur, Allie Hansen, and Josh Smith. They are here to keep us in line today. We would also like to thank the staff at the Civic Center for their assistance and WTVP for the live stream feed for those that cannot be here today to celebrate. Can we all give them, please, a round of applause? Today, we have gathered to celebrate our 50th graduating class, the 57 members of the class of 2023. The Peoria campus was established in 1970. When the first class graduated in 1973, there were 18 students. Today, these students join over 2,200 fellow physicians and proud alumni of the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. Today marks a milestone for the graduating class of 2023. We come together to mark the end of one phase and the beginning of another. You have reached this day through hard work, perseverance, and resilience. There have been many experiences over the last years that have brought you here today. Reflect upon that transformation that you have undergone since the first day of medical school. You have met new friends, gained new knowledge and skills. You have laughed, you have cried, and overcome hurdles to get to this point. You deserve it. You are the future of medicine. As you enter the next stage of your careers, you will treat mothers, sisters, daughters, sons, brothers, fathers, and grandparents. It is with that attention to detail to each patient that the humanistic application of everything that you've learned will come to life. This will make a difference in their lives as well as yours throughout your career. It will keep you grounded in why you chose medicine as a profession. It will keep you humble as you become part of someone else's life story. It will remind you that your personal and family sacrifices are for a greater good. Today, we celebrate and recognize your accomplishments. We are very proud of you. But no one accomplishes a milestone without the help of others. These students have reached their goal with the help of many of you here today. We would like to recognize these people. Would the mothers and fathers and siblings of the graduates please stand and be recognized? Would husbands, wives, partners, and children please rise and be recognized? Would grandparents, relatives, and friends of the graduates please stand and be recognized? In addition to the support from loved ones, we are fortunate to have very dedicated faculty and staff. Would the faculty and staff please rise and be recognized for their contribution to your education? And now, would the graduates please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2023. You may be seated. It is such an awesome sight for me up here to look around this room and see how many people have supported you on your journey. It is amazing to see your dreams come true with this support. Now I'd like to welcome to the podium Dr. Mark Rosenblatt, the Executive Dean of the College of Medicine. Dean Rosenblatt, will you please stand? Mark I. Rosenblatt, MD, PhD, MBA, MHA, has served as the Executive Dean of the University of Illinois College of Medicine since 2019. Additionally, he has been Associate Vice Chancellor for Physician Affairs since 2022. Prior to becoming Executive Dean, Dr. Rosenblatt was appointed in 2014 as the Illinois Lions Charles I. Young Chair, Professor and Head of the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences at the University of Illinois College of Medicine. Dr. Rosenblatt is an internationally recognized clinician scientist. As director of the Corneal Regenerative Medicine Laboratory, he leads groups of scientists investigating the mechanism of corneal peripheral nerve regeneration following injury and the use of nano-engineered biomaterials for use in stem cell delivery to the ocular surface. His work in regenerative medicine has been funded by the National Institutes of Health, the Department of Defense, Research to Prevent Blindness, the Falk Family Foundation, and the Tri-Institutional Stem Cell Initiative. Dr. Rosenblatt has published widely, including over 150 original manuscripts, review articles, book chapters, and abstracts. He is a graduate of the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine's Honor Program in Medical Education and the combined MD-PhD program, receiving his PhD in Biochemistry, Cell and Molecular Biology. He also completed his Master's Business Administration at the New York University Stern School and his Master's of Healthcare Administration at the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health. He is a member of the Alpha Omega Alpha and Omicron Delta Kappa Honor Societies. Dr. Rosenblatt completed his ophthalmology residency and combined clinical research fellowship in corneal disease at the Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary, Harvard Medical School. Please welcome Dean Rosenblatt.
Thank you so much, Dean Hanks. It's really a pleasure to be with all of you here today and to celebrate you, our graduating students, during this convocation. So Dean Hanks had a chance to warm everyone up, but I want to give this group, this amazing group of young physicians, another round of applause, please. This is a special day and a proud achievement, and you should be proud. Don't deny yourself that, because this is a day when all of the training, all the hours of study, and all of the moments when you forced yourself to push forward to this goal have finally come to fruition. You know a lot about delayed gratification, but today you do get to enjoy the fruits of your Herculean efforts as students. I'm so happy we're able to be here today in person. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, your journey through medical school took a path no one could have anticipated. Your time here, especially those first couple of years, were unique and certainly challenging in many ways. I commend you for overcoming these obstacles. As we learned through the pandemic, the world needs you, your skills, your compassion, and your care. With graduation comes the anticipation of what lies next. Your careers will take you in amazing and challenging directions. I'm confident that the foundations in science, medicine, and service to community that you've received at the University of Illinois College of Medicine will have prepared you for your continued and future outstanding achievements. As your careers advance, you will also contribute to the body of scientific knowledge, promoting our tradition of lifelong learning, which continues to be a cornerstone of our College of Medicine. Not only will you excel in your chosen field of specialization, but you will also assume leadership positions and take great joy in mastering new skills, applying novel ideas, and solving complex clinical and research problems. You represent the very finest of the college's mission, and it's my sincere hope that you will continue to apply what you have experienced as students in our college, passion in your pursuits, compassion for and dedication to your patients, and excellence in every aspect of your lives. With that, I wish you my heartfelt congratulations. Enjoy this day, and we look forward to continuing to hear from you and engage with you in the years to come as alums. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Rosenblatt. Now bringing greetings from the Peoria Medical Alumni Council is Dr. Thomas Clark. Dr. Clark, would you please stand? Thomas Clark, MD, is a faculty emeritus. Dr. Clark served as a U.S. Navy hospital corpsman from 1954 to 1956 and as a volunteer physician in Vietnam in 1968. He graduated from the University of Illinois College of Medicine and completed his residency at OSF St. Francis Hospital. He is board certified in family practice. He became a faculty member in 1970 at UEComp and participated in some of the formative committees in the creation of the Peoria campus. Dr. Clark has served in many different teaching and leadership roles throughout his career at UEComp and at our healthcare affiliates. Please welcome Dr. Clark.
Well, thank you. So my remarks are intended this morning for you graduates. You have received congratulations from many of which you should, and those congratulations are well deserved because what you have each accomplished is truly remarkable. There are many who would like to become a doctor, but very few will. The educational requirements to become a physician are very difficult. Gaining acceptance into medical school is highly competitive. Only 1 American in 400 is a doctor. Of those that enter college in a pre-med curriculum, less than 1 in 5 will succeed. Of those that take the MCAT, only 40% will gain acceptance into a medical school. What you have done, you have successfully completed the most difficult educational curriculum that exists. So once again, congratulations. And of course, your education, your training, your time to learn, it's not over yet. In fact, you will come to understand that as a physician, the time of learning never ends. There will always be new skills, new concepts, new developments in your chosen field that you will need to master. And then once mastered, hopefully you will pass that on to your peers. I'm here today as a representative of the Faculty Alumni Council. I'm excited to be here because I was on this faculty 50 years ago in 1973 when the first group of students from this medical school graduated. Since then, I've been able to see the development of a beautiful medical school campus and watch that evolve into a world-class medical center of which each of you are now a part. So congratulations, the faculty, alumni, and your university are proud of what you have each accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. To offer a welcome from the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria, is Dr. Meenakshi Iyer. Dr. Iyer, will you please stand? Meenakshi Iyer, MD, MACP, MHPE, serves as Regional Dean of the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. In addition, Dr. Iyer is a clinical professor in the Department of Medicine and the Department of Health Science, Education, and Pathology. Prior to becoming Regional Dean, Dr. Iyer served as Associate Dean of Academic Affairs at UEComp. Dr. Iyer received her medical degree from the Maduri Kamaraj University in 1989. After medical school, she came to the United States to complete her internal medicine residency at the University of Louisville and the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. Dr. Iyer joined the faculty of the College of Medicine in 1996. Dr. Ayer is an excellent clinician and a nationally recognized medical educator. She has received numerous awards, including the Raymond B. Allen Golden Apple Award for outstanding contributions to teaching and the Illinois Laureate Award of the American College of Physicians in Illinois. She was selected to participate in the Executive Leadership for Academic Medicine program, the nation's only in-depth leadership program for women in academic medicine. She's been recognized for her leadership and service within our community, as well as her profession. In 2022, she was named the Athena International Woman of the Year by the Peoria Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Women to Women Healthcare Wellness Award, recipient by the Women's Fund of Central Illinois. A great leader, clinician, and advocate. Please welcome Dean Meenakshi Iyer.
Thank you, Dr. Hanks. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Convocation celebration of the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. So today we celebrate you, all of you graduates. So again, congratulations and a huge round of applause, please. And I think we can do better than that. Family, friends, we can do better than that. We can raise some noise too. They have worked hard for that. Please. So class of 2023, you have made us all proud, and you have heard that, everybody say that, and we truly mean it. We are so proud of you. So when all of you started your journey as a medical student, little did you anticipate that you will be learning the art and science of medicine as we all navigated through a global pandemic. All of you rose to the occasion, you persevered, you adapted with agility, you gave your best to your peers, to your patients and their families, and you accomplished much during your time here. And now you're on the threshold of the next step in your journey of your physician. And I think you guys can say something very different than what we used to say, is I walked uphill in the snow both ways. You can actually say, I walked uphill in the pandemic both ways, and you will actually be right when you did that. So really, you have persevered, and you're here today, and again, we are so happy that you're here. Today, you'll be joining over 2,000 physicians who have preceded you and are proud alumni of the College of Medicine. This day marks an important milestone in your life, transitions. Transition from medical student to doctor. You know, in a few weeks, when you start an intern, they'll call you doctor. You can look around, and they're actually talking to you. It's not the medical student who is probably looking up to you at that point in time. A transition from medical school to residency. Transition from all the knowledge that you have gained to actually applying them, and a transition to taking on increased responsibility and accountability. So doctors, as you prepare for the transition to the residency and think about your next step, reflect on the values of our profession and how you will embrace them and take advantage of them to further build you yourself as a professional, as a compassionate physician, as a researcher, as an educator, as a caring and productive member of the communities in which you will live, play, and provide care. As you make this transition, you represent the best of what UW College of Medicine, Peoria, and all of you will shape the future of healthcare. Hold true to the values. Be humble. Serve with compassion to self and others. Have courage to do the right thing, no matter how challenging that decision is. Be confident of what you have learned. Be a lifelong learner. You will hear that over and over again today. Your profession and your patients depend on that. Finally, and most importantly, value and prioritize your own well-being and emotional health and work-life balance. We have all heard the analogy from the safety instruction given by flight attendants, right? In the case of an emergency, put on your face mask first before, and then help them around you. So your wellness and emotional health is important to you, but also to your family, friends, and your patients. So take care of you. You will continue to encounter life transitions as some of you get married, become mom, dad, parent, support an aging family member and friend. You may pursue fellowship, research opportunities, or leadership roles within the community or professional organizations. At each of these points, take the time to reflect, celebrate your successes, and enjoy the journey and the milestones. Your paths will be varied, and different, but I look forward to hearing about all your accomplishment in all these paths. I think your foundation is strong moving forward. So to that end, let's all celebrate your graduation, your milestone, and your achievements today. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Ayer, for those inspiring words. The class of 2023 has chosen Dr. Sherry Young to present the Convocation address. Dr. Young, will you please stand? Sherry Young, MD, is a clinical professor in the Department of Health Science Education and Pathology. She joined the UEComp faculty in 2014 and has been awarded for teaching excellence by students as a multi-year Golden Apple Award winner, and by the faculty as the UEComp Outstanding Teaching Award. Prior to joining UEComp, Dr. Young practiced surgical and clinical pathology at OSF St. Francis Medical Center and at Loyola University Medical Center. She also taught at Loyola's Stritch School of Medicine and was awarded teaching awards there as well. Dr. Young served in the Navy as a pathologist at the U.S. Navy Hospital in Newport, Rhode Island, and at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sherry Young.
Wow. Thank you. Faculty, parents, spouses, partners, family, and the great class of 2023. It is my honor to be here speaking to you. I remember when you were M1s and you were roaming the halls of UEComp. You were at tables in the library and nested in coves studying on the second floor. UEComp was your home, and guess what? UEComp will always be your home. But now you're going out to a new adventure, and it's a big change. And that's kind of what my talk today is going to be about, change. And what kind of changes are you going to expect? Well, first of all, you're going to get paid for all of your hard work. And as great as you all look, each of you, in that white coat, you're going to change it to one that's longer and has bigger pockets. You're also going to change your title. You've been a student most of your life, and now you're going to be a PGY1, a resident. And of course, with that change comes a lot of responsibilities and the responsibility of taking care of patients. And I know you're excited about this new adventure, this new chapter in the textbook of your life, and this new role you'll have. And believe it or not, I can remember when I was graduating from medical school and going to be a PGY1, we called it an intern back then. It was many years ago. It's actually last century. And I was excited, but I was also anxious. I remember talking to a friend of mine. I think it was Madame Curie. And I said, Marie, I'm so excited to be an intern, but I'm kind of anxious. Am I ready? Am I prepared for this big change to be an intern? And I'm actually here to tell you and answer that question for you, because maybe some of you have that in your head. You're excited, but maybe you're a little anxious. But I'm going to answer it. Hands down, categorically, you are ready. You are prepared. How do I know this? Well, first of all, the deans, and for that matter, the medical school admissions committee, they don't make mistakes. They don't. You're ready. You're prepared. But also, this class of 2023, is the class of change. You've experienced more change in the past 4 years than any other medical student class that I have taught. And I started teaching again in 1994. Again, that's a long time ago, last century. The point is, I've taught a lot of classes, and you are the class of change. You are the masters of change, the experts of change, the LeBron James of change, the GOATs, greatest of all times, of change. You've been through a pandemic where hundreds, sometimes thousands of people were dying a day. Johns Hopkins reported over 4,000 deaths in one day in January of 2021, your second year in medical school. You've witnessed, you and the world have witnessed social injustice in epic proportions. I don't know how you got your news, whether it was from television, from internet, from social media, but during your training, it was 24 hours a day of devastating and bad news, only interrupted by less devastating and less bad news. During your training, you faced some dark times when everyone was masked, and the nearest human being was 6 feet away. But you, the class of 2023, you were able to pivot from traditional teaching to online teaching. You successfully prepared yourself to learn everything you needed to know to be a good doctor. You persevered through all these changes, and you prevailed. Here you are sitting, moments away from being hooded and leaving here an MD. The class of 2023, the class of change, you've got this. Also, you were taught by faculty members who went through all these changes, an enormous amount of changes. Specifically, you learned your pathology, or a lot of your pathology, from someone who went through seismic changes in her life, and for that matter, her life expectancy. I'd like to take this time to thank you on my journey. You mean so much to me. You helped me navigate and still navigate my health issues. I guess that makes me the professor of change. The class of 2023, the class of change, together with the professor of change, we've got this. And finally, one last thing. Talk about change. Have you guys looked at your M1 pictures? The class of 2023, the class of change, you've got this. Because you're the class of change, I expect the great class of 2023 to make some great changes. Again, I expect the great class of 2023 to make some great changes. You don't have to change the world, just your part in it. And you don't have to be perfect to be amazing. I know that all of you will excel in the years to come. You are uniquely trained to help patients and to empathize with patients as they adjust to the changes in their health. And you'll probably prevent adverse changes as you champion for those preventative medicine measures that you've learned. One last thing I'd like to mention that it has nothing to do with change, but I just wanted to mention to you is that how refreshing it is to have the smallest amount of kindness shown to you. Some challenges that I experienced, just having somebody on the phone saying, I'm here to help when you're trying to navigate appointments and medical bills and stuff like that. And I realized in the past week is that kindness is beautiful. And actually kindness makes you beautiful. And this world needs so much kindness. But I know that the class of 2023, the great class of 2023, you will make great changes in this world, and you will make this world more beautiful. Thank you. You mean so much to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Young. With listening to her speech, you can see why she's won so many Golden Apple Awards and also why she was nominated tonight. So for today, thank you, Dr. Young. We will now transition to the hooding ceremony, what we're all here to celebrate. A little bit of history about the hooding ceremony. The wearing of academic gowns goes back to the 12th century, when the first universities were founded. It is often suggested that gowns and hoods were the simplest and most effective way of staying warm in the unheated stone buildings that housed the medieval scholars. The significance of the caps and gowns worn in a traditional convocation is described in your program. There are 7 different honors denoted in the program. Traditionally, students wear medallions or cords to reflect the distinct and significant honor. One is a key on a maroon ribbon, symbolizing admission to the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Admission to this honor society is limited to the top 20% of our students elected in their senior year. The round medallion worn on a green ribbon is awarded to those graduates selected to graduate with honors in recognition of consistent academic excellence through all 4 years of medical school. The round medallion on the blue ribbon represents membership in the Gold Humanism Honor Society, an initiative of the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. The Gold Humanism Honor Society comprises individuals who practice patient-centered medical care and model the qualities of integrity, excellence, compassion, altruism, respect, and empathy. No more than 15% of the members of the class can be selected. A turquoise ribbon holds the medal of our Rural Student Physician Program, or RSPP, participants. The RSPP track is an alternative educational track that provides students interested in rural medicine the opportunity to spend more time in community-based preceptors' offices. In addition, the students of the Urban Health Program wear an additional gray stole or blue cord. The program supports and fosters the development of underrepresented medicine. Students at UE Comp can participate in 2 longitudinal scholarly concentration programs over the 4 years. Health Equity in Medicine, or EquiMed, which focuses on using innovation in austere environments to address health inequities. Students participating in this program are wearing black, red, and gold cords. Clinician Executive Medicine focuses on being a clinician executive to understand and address the complex challenges in healthcare delivery and administration. Students will be wearing brown cords. Each student is also wearing a stole that is symbolic of the specialty that the student has chosen for a career. The details are also which are in your program. I am honored to introduce the faculty members who have been selected by the graduates to present them with their hoods. By asking these members of the faculty to present them with their hoods, the students are recognizing their exceptional teaching, mentoring, and advocacy to the students. Assisting with the hooding are Dr. Elsa Vasquez-Melinda and Dr. Matthew Mishler. Dr. Vasquez-Melendez, would you please rise? Born and raised in Puerto Rico, Dr. Melendez completed her medical training at Universidad Iberoamericana, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. She completed her internal medicine pediatrics residency training here at UE Comp. Dr. Vasquez-Melendez serves as Assistant Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at UE Comp. She's an Associate Professor of Clinical Medicine and Pediatrics and practices as a hospitalist for both teaching services, supervising residents and students. She also leads several other educational initiatives locally and across the college, and she has also been the recipient of multiple teaching awards. Dr. Mishler, will you please rise? Dr. Matthew Mishler is a clinical professor of medicine and pediatrics. He is also the Internal Medicine Pediatrics Residency Program Director. Dr. Mishler received his medical degree from UE Comp in 2003. He completed his Internal Medicine Pediatrics Residency at University of Michigan. He practices hospitalist medicine as well for both internal medicine and pediatrics and teaches both students and residents. He is a valued educator, course director for both students and residents. Dr. Jonathan Fisher and myself will present the graduates. Dr. Fisher, will you please stand? John Fisher, PhD, is a clinical assistant professor in the Department of Health Science, Education, and Pathology. He earned his PhD in molecular cell biology from Washington University in St. Louis, studying intracellular serotonin signaling cascades and their effects on the amyloid beta production in Alzheimer's disease. In 2016, he joined UE Comp to teach cell biology and histology in the Illinois medicine curriculum. He is passionate about medical student education and support. He acts as a faculty advisor for several student interest groups on campus and helps manage the UE Comp community garden. He enjoys educational research involving innovative ideas to promote learning. Dr. Vasquez-Melendez and Dr. Mishler, would you please take your places at the hooding station? Dean Ayer and Dean Rosenblatt, would you take your places at the dean's position? Dr. Fisher, would you join me at the announcement podium? Would the first row of graduates please rise? Dina will direct you to line up at the side of the platform to be able to collect your hood. When your name is called, please proceed up to the stage to the hooding station.
Dr. Nicole Avendano, Gold Humanism Honor Society. You can clap. Dr. Avendano is specializing in neurology. She will train at the Medical College of Wisconsin affiliated hospitals in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dr. Sofia Bolaños. Dr. Bolaños is specializing in emergency medicine. She will train at the Ohio State University Medical Center in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Adriana A. Boris. Dr. Boris is specializing in internal medicine. She will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Elena Brunner. Dr. Brunner will complete a transitional year at the Abrazo Health Network in Phoenix, Arizona. Dr. Colton Burns. Dr. Burns is specializing in family medicine. He will train at the Mayo Clinic School of Graduate Medical Education in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Dr. Daniel M. Cahill. Dr. Cahill is specializing in emergency medicine. He will train at the Indiana University School of Medicine in Indianapolis, Indiana. Dr. Charles Kane. Dr. Kane is specializing in emergency medicine. He will train at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics in Iowa City, Iowa. Dr. John Lager Caniglia. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Caniglia is specializing in interventional radiology. After completing an internal medicine preliminary year at Ascension St. Joseph in Chicago, Illinois, he will train at the University of Wisconsin Hospitals and Clinics in Madison, Wisconsin. Dr. Molly Catherine Carmack. Dr. Carmack is specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. She will train at the San Antonio Military Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Matthew Carr. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Carr is specializing in internal medicine and pediatrics. He will train at the University of South Alabama Hospitals in Mobile, Alabama. Dr. Sheena Chatrath. Dr. Chatrath is specializing in dermatology. After completing a transitional year at Piedmont-Macon Medical Center in Macon, Georgia, she will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Melissa Q. Dominguez. Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Dominguez is specializing in internal medicine. She will train at the UC Irvine Medical Center in Orange, California. Dr. Christopher Eberlin. Graduating with honors at Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Eberlin is specializing in surgery orthopedics. He will train at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics in Iowa City, Iowa. Dr. Connor Ainlay. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Inlay is specializing in diagnostic radiology. After completing a transitional year at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, he will train at the Indiana University School of Medicine in Indianapolis, Indiana. Dr. Chidera Ezenekwa. Dr. Ezenekwa is specializing in internal medicine. She will train at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dr. Caitlin Fernandez. Graduating with honors in Gold Humanism Honor Society, Dr. Fernandez is specializing in pediatrics. She will train at the Case Western University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Dr. Kathleen Flows in absentia. Gold Humanism Honor Society, Dr. Flows is specializing in internal medicine. She will train at the Montefiore Medical Center in Bronx, New York. Dr. Joseph Moy Fong. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Fong is specializing in pediatrics. He will train at the UC San Francisco in San Francisco, California. Dr. Nejla Gawn. Gold Humanism Honor Society, Dr. Gawn is specializing in neurology. She will train at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dr. Grant Martin Gingrich. Dr. Gingrich is specializing in emergency medicine. He will train at the Beaumont Health in Southfield, Michigan. Dr. Madeline McDevick Hackman. Gold Humanism Honor Society, Dr. Hackman is specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. She will train at the Spectrum Health Michigan State University in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Dr. Caleb Henderson. Graduating with honors, Dr. Henderson is specializing in emergency medicine. He will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Felipe Alberto Hernandez Silva. Dr. Hernandez Silva is specializing in diagnostic radiology. He will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Miles Hare. Dr. Hare is specializing in diagnostic radiology. After completing a transitional year at the Medical College of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, he will train at the Baptist Memorial Educational Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. David Iverson in absentia. Dr. Iverson will be a 2024 residency match participant. Dr. Anvesh Jelasuthram. Dr. Jelasuthram is specializing in psychiatry. He will train at the Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. Dr. Matthew J. Kerr. Dr. Kerr will complete a surgery preliminary year at Good Samaritan Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dr. Uzair Khan. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Khan is specializing in otolaryngology. He will train at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics in Iowa City, Iowa. Dr. Andrew Keenley. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Keenley is specializing in surgery. He will train at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, California. Dr. Jennifer Law. Graduating with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, Dr. Law is specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. She will train at the Loyola University Medical Center in Maywood, Illinois. Dr. Joan Lee in absentia. Dr. Lee is specializing in surgery. She will train at the University of Texas HSC in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Nika Lim. Dr. Lim will be a 2024 residency match participant. Dr. Kayla McGaffis. Gold Humanism Honor Society, Dr. McGaffis is specializing in pediatrics. She will train at the the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston, South Carolina. Dr. Emil Merrick. Dr. Merrick is specializing in surgery. He will train at the Loyola University Medical Center in Maywood, Illinois.
Dr. Dimitrios Peter Maroussos. Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Maroussos will participate in the 2024 residency match. Dr. William Marshall. Graduation with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society. Dr. Marshall is specializing in otolaryngology. He will train at the West Virginia University School of Medicine in Morgantown, West Virginia. Dr. Victor Javier Medina. Dr. Medina is specializing in internal medicine. He will train at the UC San Diego Medical Center in San Diego, California. Dr. Tolal Murad. Dr. Murad will complete a transitional year at HCA Medical Center Healthcare in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Jordan Andrew Nazenbeni. Dr. Nazenbeni is specializing in psychiatry. He will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Marichi Wakanma. Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Wakanma is specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. She will train at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dr. Rosemary Ngazi Agbana. Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Agbana is specializing in interventional radiology. She will train at the Beaumont Health in Southfield, Michigan. Dr. Margaret O'Grady. Dr. O'Grady is specializing in family medicine. She will train at the Multi-Care Health System in Tacoma, Washington. Dr. Subi Pachagola and Absentia. Dr. Pachagola is specializing in radiation oncology. After completing a transitional year at Weiss Memorial Hospital in Chicago, Illinois, she will train at Northwestern McGaw in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Cassandra J. Palmer. Dr. Palmer is specializing in urology. She will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Nikita Patel. Dr. Patel is specializing in internal medicine pediatrics. She will train at the University of Arizona College of Medicine in Phoenix, Arizona. Dr. Connor James Ratchford. Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Ratchford is specializing in diagnostic radiology. After completing a transitional year at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, he will train at the Metro Health System, Case Western in Cleveland, Ohio. Dr. Thomas Rashid. Graduation with honors in Alpha Omega Honor Society. Dr. Rashid is specializing in urology. He will train at the University of Kansas Medical Center in Kansas City, Kansas. Dr. Scott Renfro. Graduation with honors. Dr. Renfro is specializing in emergency medicine. He will train at the Medical College of Wisconsin affiliated hospitals in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dr. Alitra Catherine Diane Roberts. Dr. Roberts is specializing in family medicine. She will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Carle Health Systems in Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Andrew Schuler. Graduation with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society. Dr. Schuler is specializing in diagnostic radiology. After completing a transitional year at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, he will train at the University of North Carolina Hospitals in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Dr. Sergio Serafin in absentia. Dr. Serafin is specializing in internal medicine. He will train at the Kaiser Permanente in Los Angeles, California. Dr. Anna Carolina Serrano. Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Serrano is specializing in family medicine. She will train at the Advocate Healthcare IMMC, Illinois, in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Brianna Sullivan. Dr. Sullivan is specializing in surgery. She will train at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics in Iowa City, Iowa. Dr. Maxwell Thomas Ventverlo. Dr. Ventverlo is specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. He will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria. Dr. Kyle Robert Wagner. Graduation with honors in Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society. Dr. Wagner is specializing in orthopedic surgery. He will train at the University of Wisconsin Hospitals and Clinics in Madison, Wisconsin. Dr. Veronica Agnieszka Bozic-Weber. Dr. Bozic-Weber is specializing in emergency medicine. She will train at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. Dr. Tassin Ahmed Zaman. Dr. Zaman is specializing in psychiatry. He will train at the ECU Health Medical Center in Greenville, North Carolina. Can we please give one last big round of applause for the class of 2023? Platform party, if you could be seated. Thank you. And we'll give just a minute for our last photo. Now for the charge and physician's oath. We would like to ask all the physicians present to stand and recite the oath with our graduates. The oath can be found on the back page of your program. Dean Ayer, would you please come forward to administer the charge and the physician's oath?
So could you please stand? and all the physicians who are, if you want to reaffirm your oath. And an oath is something that is usually taken when we transition into our profession. The oldest oath that we have is the Hippocratic Oath, but today we're going to recite a modern version of the Hippocratic Oath. So you can read with me. I swear to fulfill, to the best of my ability and judgment, this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures which are required, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and therapeutic nihilism. I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug. I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when skills of another are needed for patient recovery. I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know. Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death. If it is given to me to save a life, all thanks. But it may also be within my power to take a life. This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty. Above all, I must not play at God. I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibilities includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick. I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure. I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm. If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live, and remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help. Congratulations, class of 2023. Congratulations, doctors.
You may be seated. It has become a tradition at our college for the members of the graduating class to elect one of their own to provide the class remarks. The class of 2023 has selected Dr. Daniel Cahill to present those remarks. Dr. Cahill, will you please stand? Dr. Cahill received a Bachelor of Science in Biology from Providence College and a Master of Science in Medical Sciences from Boston University School of Medicine. During his time at UE Comp, he held many leadership activities, including as co-president of the Peoria Medical Student Council, and has been involved in service while at UE Comp. He is the recipient of the Tom C. Reeves Memorial Award in 2022, a peer-nominated honor recognizing a student with the qualities necessary for excellence in the medical profession. He will be completing an emergency medicine residency at Indiana University School of Medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Daniel Cahill.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dan Cahill. I'm a member of the class of the M4 class, and I'm honored to be here today to celebrate the class of 2023 as we graduate from the University of Illinois College of Medicine. It's a big day, and this is a big room filled with lots of people and lights. It's actually making me a little nervous. Might need a moment, so I'm actually going to phone a friend to sort of warm up the crowd while I collect myself. So maybe Dr. Fisher, you think you could help me out for a second? Dr. John Fisher, everyone.
I think you all know what's coming. Hello, physicians! I think they're ready.
For context, Dr. Fisher narrated a lot of our recorded lectures, and they all started with that silky smooth radio voice saying, "Hello, future physicians." So to hear us address as physicians today is very cool. Thank you, Dr. Fisher. Yeah. As I mentioned, my name is Dan Cahill. I'm truly humbled to be here to speak on behalf of the class of 2023. I have to admit, I am actually a bit nervous because I haven't really read this speech yet. I just had ChatGPT write it last night, so I think it did fine, right? Let's see. Hello, welcome and congratulations to the class of 1997 and our graduation from law school. That's not right. Okay. Guess I'll just have to wing it. All jokes aside, I'm thrilled to be here at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria, which is, in my opinion, the best medical school in the entire country. I think that what makes this such a great place to learn and to train is the people. So I want to start with a lot of thank yous for everyone who made today possible. Thank you to our deans, Dean Ayer, Dean Hanks, Dean Doherty, and Dean Wambacher. Thank you to all the faculty and staff at the College of Medicine, everyone who gave lectures, our advisors, and to everyone else. And a special thank you to our Student Services Coordinator, Jamie Belcher. Yeah. And our Registrar, Lonnie Wenzel. Without you two, I think I might have missed a dozen very important deadlines that might have precluded me from being here today. So thank you for your patience. I also want to thank all of the attendings, fellows, residents, nurses, and everyone at OSF St. Francis Hospital, Unity Point Hospital, and Jump Simulation Center, who were instrumental to our clinical training and helped build our confidence and push us one step closer to being doctors. Of course, I want to thank our families, our parents, our siblings, our significant others, and our friends who were with us along the way and got us through the more challenging and emotionally taxing parts of medical school. To that point, I personally owe my greatest thanks to my fellow classmates and friends in the class of 2023. All of you have been incredible friends to me over the past 4 years and inspired me to keep going when times got tough. Sometimes that was just hanging out in the student lounge between classes, bringing baked goods to a TBL, and sometimes it meant staying out past midnight at a little bar down the street called Saddle Up. Quick show of hands, who was at Saddle Up between the hours of 1 and 2 a.m.? I'm not seeing any hands, but I've seen you guys all there, so we'll talk about that later. Honestly, though, you've all been a very fun crew, and you've all been awesome in your own way. This was particularly important to me in the early days of medical school when my mom, Regina, was battling cancer at home while I was here in Peoria. Sadly, my mom passed away the night before our first medical school exam, which left me heartbroken, devastated, and lost as I started med school in a new city. I still miss my mom so much, but I know she's here with us today. I want to extend my sincere condolences to anyone else who's missing someone important than today. Wherever they are, please know that they are so proud of you right now. They're so proud of you, and they are celebrating your achievements today. Dean Hanks, Dean Doherty, our advisors, Liz Ellington and Christina Peckman, and everyone else at the school were incredibly empathetic and helpful during this time, which allowed me to get through that and carry on with medical school at my own pace. But what really got me through that time was the support I felt from all of you in the class. So I owe all of you an unpayable debt of gratitude, truly. I can't say enough. I mention all of this to say that I really encourage all of you to continue the support of your peers as you continue on to residency. Imposter syndrome is real. Burnout is real. And it can be hard to recognize sometimes, especially in yourself. So I encourage you to regularly check in with your family, check in with your friends, and check in with yourself. Sometimes a hug or a small word of encouragement or something small can make a massive impact. So I hope you'll go forward and continue to be the amazing friends that you've been to me for the last 4 years. When we started medical school, I think we were all somewhat prepared for the challenges that it would bring. The academic rigor, the long nights studying, the pressure to excel, and the sacrifice of missing out on fun events with family and friends. But as we neared the end of our first year, right around St. Patrick's Day, we were faced with an entirely new challenge, COVID. I didn't really know what to say about COVID. Pretty weird time, though, am I right? In addition to the usual pains of medical school, we were faced with new challenges that no other class in the history of medical education had faced. The uncertainty of shifting mandates and regulations, social isolation, remote learning, and the unpleasantness of jamming a COVID swab up your nose when you got the sniffles, just to be safe. I really have to commend the school for their guidance and diligence during this time. It was an all-hands-on-deck effort to keep our education and to continue with minimal interruption. It was also kind of funny to watch the boomers all figure out Zoom and QR codes, but hey, they did it, so good on you. And yeah, give it up. Thank you again for maintaining the integrity of our education through this unprecedented time. As if COVID wasn't enough, 2020 also saw the start of tremendous political and civil unrest in the country following the death of George Floyd. I promise I won't get too political here today, but I again want to commend the school for listening to students during this time and making concessions that allowed us to participate in historic protests and movements advocating for justice and equality for our friends, patients, and classmates. This was a massively impactful and educational time for me personally, and it helped me recognize the power of our collective voice as physicians. I think the MD after our name really lends us some extra credibility because it's something that we've earned through sacrifice over many years. So whatever your politics are, I really challenge you to stand up for what you believe in and stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. You know, when we interviewed for medical school and residency, we said things like, I want to be a doctor because I want to help people, or I want to make a difference in the world. Well, there is no want anymore. We don't want to be physicians. We are physicians. So again, I challenge you to go forth and do what it is you set out to do. Help those in need and make a meaningful impact on the communities you serve. Stay true to yourself, trust yourself, and do some good. In my opinion, in the face of all of this social change, it's not enough to simply be a doctor anymore. So I call on all of you to be a doctor and. You can be a doctor and a researcher, or a doctor and an educator. For you, maybe it means to be a doctor and a great spouse, or a doctor and a great parent, or aunt or uncle. I will share with you that my wonderful fiancée Jane and I are actually getting married in just 2 short weeks. As I look out in our class, I know several of us are engaged to be married. Most of us are moving to a new city to train, and some of us even had the fortitude to have our first child during medical school, which is amazing. So, yeah, Madeline, Colton, Veronica, you guys are all incredible. Whatever the next step is, we're all starting a new chapter in our lives. I was thinking back to orientation week when we were all sort of awkwardly getting to know each other, and we were building those little bridges out of the plastic straws and tape that were supposed to hold a textbook, but like immediately collapsed in front of everyone. And I was thinking back to that time and thinking about now, and I'm blown away by the growth, the maturity, and the confidence we've all gained in the last 4 years. Everyone in this class has proven themselves to be smart, capable, driven, caring, and poised for success in residency and beyond. I also want to say that I consider everyone in this class a friend for life, so please stay in touch. I'm just so excited for all of you, and I'm thrilled to see how much we'll continue to grow and achieve in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. So with that, I will end by encouraging all of you to go forward ambitiously and without reservation. Truly, the sky's the limit with this group, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds for us. So I want to extend one last thank you to the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria. Special thank you to our families who've been with us along the way. Congratulations to the class of 2023. We did it.
Thank you, Dr. Cahill. As our celebration comes to close, I would ask the class of 2023 to reflect on the following quote by Mother Teresa. "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." As you embark on the next phase of your journey, can you create a ripple with everything you do? And you can. As we've all talked about here today, every single patient you encounter, you are going to change their life. You actually become part of their life story. And so cast many stones to create many ripples over your careers. Go, doctors, go forth and make a difference to every patient you encounter. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our convocation. Can we give one big round of applause for the class of 2023? Graduates, please be sure to return your regalia in the roving room after you're finished taking your pictures. We ask that you all stay where you're seated at until the convocation party has recessed. Will the platform party and the marshals, the graduates and the faculty, please rise if you haven't already.